believe that the summer holidays have already come to an end and we're talking Spectrum, but the kids have headed back to school either this week or are going to head back next week, and as they do, we start Spectrum back up. This term, we're going to be talking all about God's great big family tree. We'll be thinking about the people in God's family, we'll be thinking about the places that God's family goes, and the sort of things that they do together. And every week we'll remember that we are a part of this great big family too. I think the kids will be familiar with the idea of a family tree because they often make those in primary school with their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents on them. And so what we're going to do is make our own God's family tree at church to remind us that we're also a part of God's family. And there are lots and lots and lots of people in that tree who go back generations, even before our great-great-great-great-grandparents. There were people that were a part of God's family that we're now a part of. Today, our lesson comes from Paul's letter to the Hebrews, and he talks about these people in the Bible and how all of them were an example to us and an inspiration, showing us what it means to be a part of God's family, and that there's so many of them that they're like a big cloud. It's like all the little raindrops that make up a cloud. All of these people make up a cloud of witnesses to inspire us and remind us that we are a part of this great big family too. And that's what we'll be talking about this morning upstairs at Setting the Scene. Once we come downstairs, our main focus this morning is to make the kids feel really welcome and settled. This is their first Sunday in Spectrum after the summer holidays, and for some people, it will be their first time in a new classroom. So take a minute to make them feel welcome, and also go around the circle to learn everyone's name. You may want to have them do something silly like pass the ball to each other, and whoever catches the ball has to say their name and a favorite animal or ice cream flavor or something. Or you could play a game of shoe tag, which I'll include a description of in the notes. After you feel like everyone's really settled and comfortable and you know everyone's name, you can take the offering and say a quick prayer, and then move into reviewing the story. And this morning, to review the story, the younger ones will read a story from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and it's the very first one, and it talks about all of the people in God's family and how they teach us about God's love. So you can read that story and look at all of these people and think about how they're a part of God's family tree, just like we are. And you can use the example of their family tree with parents and grandparents and compare it to these people are even older and farther back than the oldest person you can think of in your family, but they're still connected to us. Spectrum 2 and 3 are going to get into teams and have a competition to see who can name the most people from the Bible. If they're having trouble coming up with names, you can remind them that we did learn about 5 of them in Holiday Club, and then a 6th one last week, so they should at least remember those 5 people, who were Peter, Stephen, Timothy, Philip, and Lydia. So hopefully they'll get those. So do that. Try and talk with them about what these people did and how it reminds us about God's love and God's family. And after we've reviewed the story and thought about this lesson and the cloud of witnesses, we'll move on to make our tree decorations. And the younger kids in Spectrum 1 are going to color in pictures of people from God's family and then attach them to their tree. The older kids are going to make clouds, literal clouds, out of cotton wool and card. And on one side of the card, they'll write the name of someone that their team came up with, someone from the Bible. And then on the other side, they'll put cotton wool to make it look like a fluffy cloud. And then you'll staple a straw to that and stick it on top of our tree. So we'll have all these clouds over our tree reminding us of all of these people way, 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 way back from the Bible times that are a part of God's family, just like we are. And we'll look at that next week, also to kind of bring us into the next idea of who else is in God's family and where are we looking next.